I think the image of the frontiers has affected people very well, no? And I see now many people in the church using this language. Probably it was there before, and after our congregation it's very wide. It's a very good metaphor, and it speaks of a church that is desires to go beyond the limits that we have set ourselves, you know, to our own life and our own way of thinking. I am very hopeful that at the present moment we see that the church is opening little by little to Africa and Asia. It's still a very timid opening, you know, because we don't know. There are so many things that we don't know. But I am very hopeful because I think Asia and Africa, the same as Eastern Europe, they bring experiences and traditions and particularly an awareness of reality that is quite different from what we have done in Europe. I feel that Europe has contributed enormously to thinking, to reflection, to intellectual, process and all that. But maybe we have overdone it, no? And we have overdone it to the point of rationalizing absolutely everything. And I think that's where the sin of Europe might be. We have tried to be so rational that we have become rationalistic. And then, particularly in matters of humanity and matters of faith, which are so deeply related to the depth of humanity, to try to explain everything rationally is not very helpful. And Asia and Africa bring a different kind of perspective, a different kind of tradition, a different kind of awareness, and I think this is going to help us very much.
People today often say to me, I'm not religious but I'm spiritual. Do you think that maybe that's a reaction to the over-rationalistic Christianity that's presented to them, and that maybe this is one way of answering the need that people feel, that spiritual hunger in Western Europe?
I think it is. You know, I think we have two weak points in Europe. From what the little I am saying, I am very shy in speaking about Europe because I have been away for so long, you know? And I don't want to judge Europe like I don't want to judge Asia or Africa. But I think in Europe we have two weak points, and we have seen this weakness when we have gone abroad and working in Japan and other places. And one is this over-rationalization of everything. We have tried to explain everything. For instance, an example that I bring into some communities where I have been in touch with recently, non-Jesuits, no, is that both Christianity and Buddhism, we speak very, very deeply and with conviction about God being a mystery. No? And we have a tradition of negative theology, of the sense of mystery, that we can never explain God, and St. Augustine is very eloquent about that, and the Church has always affirmed that. But after saying that God is a mystery, we write books about God. No? And you have libraries with big books, no, about God. While in Buddhism, say the Asian counterpart, they say God is such a mystery that we cannot even say His name. And that in Europe has been interpreted sometimes as atheism, some kind of. And that's why some people wonder, is Buddhism really a religion? Because they don't speak about God. But they say, no, it's the mystery is of such depth that we cannot even talk about it. Because the moment we talk about it, we are making it already limited, small, human size, no kind of thing. So this is one extreme, let's say, the two sides, no, that over-rationalization has made it very difficult for evangelization to take root in places like Japan and similar places where Buddhism has had a strong influence in the past. And we all have heard seminarians now say, well, these documents that came even from Vatican II are very good, and we understand what they want to say, but if they were written here, it would be totally different. And that I have heard in class from students, Catholic seminarians of different congregations and so forth. So this is one. The other weak point that we have is that we have developed, and I think again it's a positive development. We have developed ritual and form and shape and structures, through 2,000 years of history. But then we've fallen in love with these forms. And the moment you fall in love with the forms, you forget where they come from. And that's, I think, what is behind this desire of young people say, no, I want spirituality, not religion, because religion is now assimilated to these forms. So religion is going to church, taking part in certain rituals and formalities and so forth, and belonging to that group or that other group and signing for these sacraments and so on. And people don't like that. We live in an age of choice. No? And yesterday we were commenting on how, for instance, Sacred Space has had such a tremendous success because people can choose. No? You go to the internet and then you choose what fits you. Okay, this is too limited, and you cannot choose God. You cannot choose what you like of God. God is far beyond our choices and all that. But it touches something of modern people don't want to be imposed, and I think people have difficulty with the whole system. And we have seen in Japan, for instance, that this problem is not peculiar of Christianity. Also, in Buddhism, the traditional Buddhist groups are all in crisis. And what young people go after is new, like in Europe or America, we have these sects or the movements and so forth. There they have what they call new religions, but they are outlets of Buddhism. But very much in the same line of more emotional, more closer to an experience that is more immediate, and that people feel more touching. While the structured traditional religion has lost part of its appeal, and it offered a certain security in the past. Now this is not security, it's binding. And so it's a different... and people continue looking for something deep, something. They call it spiritual, but they don't know what exactly what that means and what are the parameters. But I think the church has to listen to that and say, well, if this is what people are looking for, how can we start a conversation?